Hi. Let me share this with you because if I don't let it out of my heart, it's gonna burst my chest out. So recently, the passage in the book of Numbers where the Israelites, are in the wilderness and the Lord is feeding them with manna, and all of a sudden they start complaining to Moses that they preferred, they miss eating free fish in Egypt. They miss leeks, onion, cucumbers, and melons. And they were tired of eating manna, the manna God was feeding them with. They were tired of it. They miss Egypt. If you don't know this story, all right, I'm going to give you a short recap. So these are the Israelites. The Lord has rescued them through his servant Moses from slavery in Egypt and moved them passing across the sea, parting the sea for them and bringing them into the wilderness to take them to the promised land. And here in the wilderness, the Lord provides manna for them every day as food. But they start grumbling and complaining about, they want about the manna and saying they would wish they were back in Egypt. These are people who were under slavery in Egypt. They were going through pain. They were going through torment. They were working so hard day and night for little or no pay. I mean, their maltreatment was horrible. It was bad. And the Lord rescued them through his servant Moses and was taking them to the promised land, but they had to pass through the wilderness. Right? And the Lord even makes provision for them for food. But there's all of a sudden, they start craving cucumbers, onions, leeks, and you're like, what? That's weird. Like, you have just been saved from being lashed, beaten every day, morning, afternoon, walking under the hot sun. Egypt is like a desert, very hot, walking under the hot sun and everything. And because of food, you start complaining. Isn't that your thoughts? Isn't that, when you read that passage, is that not what passes through your mind? That's exactly what goes through your mind. Guess what? I'm about to shock you. That's exactly what you and I do. It's easy for us to sit and judge the Israelites. But have you looked at your own personal life? Have I looked at my own life? The things we have prayed for the Lord to do for us, the places we have prayed for him to take us to, the relationships we have prayed for him to deliver us from, and he takes us out of toxic relationships, toxic spaces, and then we are on a journey of becoming the best versions of us. We're in the journey of going to a better place, getting into a better relationship, getting into a better job, and we are going through a process, maybe a wilderness season where the Lord is going to be helping us, where the Lord is going to be fixing us, where the Lord is going to be pruning us. You get? Before we reach the promised land. Before we reach what we've been praying, asking God for, and that's where he's taking us. And all of a sudden, because things are not working, because maybe you have to go through one challenge or the other, one difficulty or the other, you start saying, oh, I miss how they hugged me. I miss the hugs. I miss the cuddling. And John was beating me, but he was giving me money. And Mary was very violent, but she was still cooking me good food. My boss was making advances at me, pressurizing me at work, molesting me, but I still had a job. That moment of transitioning, moving from one space to the other to get to the place where God is calling us. If we are not careful, we may never graduate from there, depending on the attitude we put up. The Israelites complained and grumbled against God. And guess what? The result was death. Most of them died in the wilderness. What a sad thing. What a sad thing to die in the wilderness going to your promised land. It's a very, very tragic situation. And that happens to us too. A lot of us go back to the places God removed us from, and we find our doom. and we never ever find grace to leave, and we stay slaves. Some of us end up being bitter that the Lord rescued you, and you remain and stay, you complain and you're bitter. Now I'm looking for a job, I cannot find a job. I wish I had just stayed with my boss who was molesting me, at least I was getting money. Now I'm lonely, I'm by myself, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a husband. I should have just stayed with my abusive boyfriend, I should have just stayed with my, visionless boyfriend. I should also with my husband. My abusive husband was gonna kill me, but who was providing for me and my children. I should have. So the problem is this. The thing is this. Or let me share something, a quick tip that has really helped me out during these moments. Every time I find myself in these moments, number one thing to always bear in mind when you find yourself in a difficult transition, like the Israelites were going through. The wilderness life is not funny. It's not easy, right? We might judge them and everything, but it's not funny. It's a moment where some days you don't know what you're going to eat. Maybe some days you don't even see the possibility of getting to the promised land. You're in confusion. You don't have clarity, and everything. But there is good news. You can always get to your promised land. You can always get to your promised land by adopting a series of attitudes. The attitude of gratitude. The attitude of gratitude. Never ever forget what God has done. All of a sudden, the Israelites forgot that they are complaining about a God who killed all the firstborns of Egypt, of the Egyptians. They forgot about a God who rained frogs and all kinds of insects in Egypt. They forgot about a God who turned water into blood in Egypt. They forgot all the miraculous things the Lord had done. They even forgot that they stood before a sea and the Lord parted it and caused them to pass on dry lands. And the Lord drowned their enemies who pursued after them. All of a sudden, they forgot the goodness of God over their lives. And this is what happens whenever you start complaining, because our brain has an issue of focusing. Our brain has an issue of when you start focusing on bad things, what is happening is your brain is going to bring more bad memories to you. Yeah. Your brain is going to bring you more bad memories. So when you focus on the fact that things are not moving, I am not feeling well, this is that I'm poor, I'm lonely, I'm tired, I'm sick, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty during this season. When you focus on that, your brain is going to generate more bad experiences. If you notice, the moment you start thinking of something sad, you will think of so many sad things. The moment you start thinking of something happy, your mind will begin to bring a lot of happy things, happy memories into you. Like when you go to, for example, when you go for a funeral, right? Sometimes you don't even know the person who died. You have maybe went there because of a relative of that person. You become sad all of a sudden, and you start thinking of your own people that died, or the loved ones you have met. Your brain begins to generate those into your mind. So, number one thing, gratitude. Remember the good things, because the Lord is good. Remember all the good things He has done. Don't discard them, and sit in the place of prayer and say, Father, I thank you. Things are hard, things are difficult. I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow or what's happening next, but Father, I thank you for saving me from that abusive boss of mine, from that abusive boyfriend, husband of mine, from that toxic situation, from that life-threatening situation. I may not know what's happening, but I know that you have everything figured out, and definitely all is going to work out for me. Right? Gratitude will save you. Number 2, keep your eyes on the promises of God, on the bigger version, the bigger vision, the bigger, how do I put it? But put your mind, set your focus on where the Lord is taking you to. He's taking me to my promised land. It doesn't matter what I'm going through now. I'm on my way to my promised land. This is the path to my promised land. And every day that I persevere, every day that I take a step, I am one step closer to my promised land. You have to put this in. Remember this. Write the vision down. What has the Lord said He's going to do? Where is the Lord taking you? Write the vision down and keep your mind. Remind yourself of it every single day. The Lord says He will make me a mother in Zion. The Lord says He's gonna bless me. He's gonna establish me. He's gonna bless me with a good husband, a good wife. The Lord says my generation will be blessed and wealthy and this and that and that. Every day I stay with the Lord. I stay in His presence. I take steps every single day. I am moving closer. Every single day, I overcome a challenge, a difficulty, a pain, an uncertainty, even hunger and thirst and homelessness, because it might come to that. But every single day you persevere and not give up, you go closer. Remember that. Put it in your mind. If you cannot put it, write it down. Paste it where you can see it. Write it in your journals. Journal it. Put it down. Look at it. Every time your mind seems to begin to generate the wrong things that might happen, seems to generate all the bad things that might happen. Oh, remind your mind and your soul that the Lord is good, that He's never failed, that if He has said it, He will do it. Remind yourself of the faithfulness of God. Third thing, remind yourself of the faithfulness of God. Look through the Bible, look through your personal life. Look at the moments you thought it was the end, but the Lord came through and opened up a new door and new chapter. Look at those moments and dwell on. When I say look at those moments and remember His faithfulness, that's you conditioning your brain and your mind, to generate more. Sometimes when I think of all the things the Lord has done for me, and some other times if my brain is refusing to collaborate with me to think of them, I will begin to look at the things the Lord has done in the life of my friends, my loved ones around me. I will dig into the Bible and say, you did this for Moses, you did this for Abraham, you did this for Isaac, you did this for Jacob, you did this for Deborah, you did this for Hannah, you did this for Sarah. You are the same God I serve. I know you would do it for me. All right, I just wanted to share those quick tips with you on how to navigate your wilderness. There's so many more tips, but I just wanted to share this ones. Number one, gratitude. Number two, keep your eyes on the vision, on the dream, on the promises of God over your life. Number three, remember the faithfulness of God. Remember the faithfulness of God. Quit complaining. You are every single day, you are a day closer to what the Lord has promised He will do for you. And if the Lord has said it, He will do it. His words never fall to the ground. His words never return void. God bless you.